Hello students, welcome back. We are in class 12 second PUC biology chapters. And which chapter are we going to start now? We'll be starting off the chapter that is one of the very important chapter, that is chapter number 3, Human Reproduction. This chapter has the maximum weightage from this. No, this chapter I think the second maximum weightage. Let me check it out. Okay, yeah, here we have human reproduction is having the second highest weightage. It carries 7 marks. It carries 7 marks from your syllabus here. It is human reproduction is having 7 marks. Sexual reproduction in flowering plants were having 8 marks of weightage as per your board pattern. But this chapter, human reproduction, is having the second highest, that is 7 marks of weightage. That is also a quite lot. Okay, so let us do not ignore it, and we'll start with this. Okay. So let us start with the chapter of human reproduction. What we are going to discuss in this? Like the sexual reproduction in flowering plants, we are going to talk in the same pattern about human reproduction also. We have learned all the anatomical and the organ system of human in 11th standard, where we have discussed about digestive system, respiratory system, nervous system, endocrine system, about all the systems in standard 11th or in your first PUC. In that 11th standard, we left up with one part, that is the human reproduction. So here we are going to start with the chapter human reproduction. Already you know that humans are sexually reproducing organism, and that fertilization which takes place it is an internal fertilization. That means the fertilization process happens inside the body of an organism. If the fertilization is happening outside the body of an organism, then that is called as external fertilization. But in case of humans, the fertilization happens inside the body of an organism, and that is why it is called as internal fertilization. So human reproduction is internal fertilization. They are sexually reproducing organism, and we are viviparous. Humans are viviparous, that means we give birth to the young ones. Oviparous are those organisms which produces the eggs. They lay their eggs. So organisms are of two types, oviparous and viviparous. Oviparous organisms are those which lay eggs. Human come under viviparous because we reproduce by the sexual method, as well as humans give birth to their young ones. Okay. The reproductive events are, in case of male and female, are completely different. See, somewhat we have learned about microsporogenesis and megasporogenesis in case of plants. That is, that event of male gamete formation was different than the female gamete formation. Similarly, in case of human also, we have the different events for formation of gametes. That is, formation of male gamete and formation of female gamete. The complete process is different. Okay, so reproductive events in male and female are completely different. What are the reproductive events? The reproductive events are gametogenesis. It is the same. So reproductive events will be the same. Gametogenesis, that is for next process is fertilization, and the next process will be post-fertilization events. So gametogenesis. Again, we are going to break the syllable of the sentence of the word gametogenesis. Gameto formation. Genesis means to form or to produce. Gameto means formation of gamete, or formation of sperm in male and ova in female. Formation of sperm in male and ova in female. This process is called as gametogenesis. Okay. So the formation of sperm in case of human male and egg or ova in case of female. Okay. So this is male, they produces sperm, and the female, they produces egg or the ova. This is the egg. This is the female part egg, and this is the sperm. Okay, male and female reproductive parts are produced. Gametes are produced. Let us see the next one. Second event of this is transfer of gametes. How the transformation of the gamete is taking place. That is, transformation of the sperm in the female genital tract, or it is also called as insemination. What is this? What is the second process? Okay, that is insemination. Gametes formation comes under gametogenesis, that is formation of gamete, and then comes transfer of the gamete. These two events comes under pre-fertilization event. These two events are the pre-fertilization event. That means gametes are getting produced forming the sperm and the male is the gametogenesis. Egg, sperm and the egg is called as gametogenesis, and the transfer of gamete, that is transfer of the sperms from the male body to the uterus or from the female genital tract is called as insemination. That is the second process. Okay, so here we got the definition of insemination. Insemination means transferring the sperm into the female genital tract. Then the third step is fertilization, that is fusion of gametes or fertilization. When the male and female gamete combine with each other, the process is called as fertilization. Next one is the post-fertilization event, that is after the successful fertilization, there is implantation and attachment of the zygote to the uterine wall. These are the post-fertilization event. This is the post-fertilization event. Okay, these are the post-fertilization event. So first events are, these two are pre-fertilization event. Pre-fertilization. These two are pre-fertilization event. This is the post-fertilization event. In post-fertilization event, we have post-fertilization, we have implantation and the development of the zygote. That is implantation and the attachment of the zygote to the uterine wall and the development. That comes under post-fertilization event. One more thing that is very important in post-fertilization event, and that is called as giving birth. Parturition. Parturition and lactation also included over here, so that we are actually completes the whole process of reproduction. Okay. Embryonic development and or gestation is a very important part in post-fertilization event. That is, after the implantation of the embryo to the uterine wall, the development of the child is called as gestation. Development of the fetus is called as gestation period, and gestation is one of the very important event, followed by the gestation of the completion of the complete cycle or growing of the baby. The next process is parturition or the delivering the baby, that is called as parturition. Okay. Now we'll study about male and female reproductive part in human. Before that, let us quickly revise what we have learned in this reproductive events. The first event is gametogenesis. Okay. Let me clear this and write gametogenesis. You know the meaning of gametogenesis, right? What is the meaning of gametogenesis? It is the formation of the sperm and the formation of the egg in the male and female reproductive system respectively is called as gametogenesis. The second event is called as transfer of gamete. Transfer of gametes. This is also called as insemination. It is also called as insemination. Then the third process is the fertilization. Fertilization. Okay. And then we have the fourth process. After the fertilization, what happens? Implantation. That means fixing of the embryo to the wall of the uterine wall, that is called as implantation. After implantation is a gestation, that is development. Gestation. After gestation, it is followed by that parturition. Parturition. What is parturition? Parturition is nothing but giving birth to the child is called as parturition. And we have the seventh one as lactation. We'll also talk about lactation here only in this part, because lactation also is considered as a part of the whole reproductive system only, where the mammary glands gets activated and the newborn child will be fed by the mother's milk, right? So this process is also will be included in this, that is lactation. So what are the steps now? Let us quickly revise one more time. Gametogenesis, that is formation of egg and the sperm in the female and the male body. Then transfer of gametes, that is transformation of the sperm to the female genital tract is called as transfer of gamete, that is also called as insemination. Next comes fertilization, that is combining of male and female gamete. Then come implantation. Implantation means fixing of the embryo to the uterine wall is called as implantation. Then comes gestation. Gestation is a period when the child is growing. The baby is growing in the mother's womb, that is called as gestation. Followed by that we have parturition, that is giving birth to the child. And the last process is lactation, when the mother is feeding the baby. All these events combines together and makes the process of reproduction successful. Clear to you? So you can see that there are several places where there are a lot of events which is happening. There are a lot of steps which is there which need to be followed properly and in a sequential manner. Now, one more thing over here, that from this chapter there will be so many questions that can be framed. That can be 1 mark questions, those can be 2 marks, 5 marks, long answers, diagram based questions, anything can come. Very, very important chapter it is. I can say that sexual reproduction in flowering plant and human reproduction from this reproduction unit are the 2 most important chapters. So understand each and every term and terminology properly, concepts very clearly, so that you should not have any doubt in this particular part. Okay. Now let us study about the male and female reproductive system in case of human. We'll start with the male reproductive system first. Okay. Now, the male reproductive system, which is the diagram is already over here, is consisting of a pair of testes, a pair of genital tract, ducts, accessory glands, and external genitalia. Okay, so these are the 4 important parts that you are supposed to remember. Okay, what are those? Those are there's a pair of testes. Let me see, this is testicle. These are the pair of testes. This is one testis and then the other testis. This is a pair of testes. Then comes the pair of genital tract. This is one genital tract. This is the one more genital tract, right? I hope you can locate this. I think I should change the color of the pen. Okay, this is one of the genital tract and this is another genital tract. I hope you can locate now, right? So this is the testicles. Testicle is nothing but the testis. Okay, testis. This is the genital tract. Then we have accessory glands. What are accessory glands? We have accessory glands like prostate gland, seminal vesicle. All these are the accessory glands. We'll talk about it and their functions in detail also. And we have the external genitalia. That is the part that is called as penis. Okay. So that is the external genitalia. So all these things consist together to make the male reproductive part in case of human. Okay. So let us quickly tell me what are those. A pair of testes, a pair of genital tract, accessory glands, and external genitalia. Okay. We'll talk one by one about each organ and their function, and we'll also discuss about how, if we dissect it, how does they look like and what is their internal structure. Testes. Testes are the paired male gonads. Testes present in 2. That means there is a pair of testes present in each side of the gonad or the scrotum. That is the pouch where the male genital system is present. So testes are paired male gonads which produces sperm and the hormones. So testis is responsible for the production of sperm. Okay, testis is responsible for the production of sperm and it also produces several hormones. Remember that testis produces different hormones like testosterone and all. So it is made up of having sperm and they're having hormone. In male, both testes remain suspended in a pouch called as scrotum outside the abdominal cavity. Where does this testis located? Testes are located in the pouch outside the body of the male, and that pouch is called as scrotum. What it is called as? It is called as scrotum. Why it is located outside the body of the male? Why it is not an internal organ? Why the testes are outside in the pouch? See, the testes need to have a temperature lesser than the body temperature for the production of the sperms in a proper way. If the testes would have been located inside the body of the male, then the required temperature for the production of the sperm would have not been possible. And that is the reason the testes are located outside the body in a pouch-like structure called as scrotum, where the temperature will be 2 degrees Celsius less than the normal body temperature. Did you get it? The scrotum reduces the temperature and it protects the testicles also. Okay, so this gives the testis a low temperature than the body temperature, that is 2 degrees Celsius below the lower the body temperature, and that is why it is there in the scrotum. Got it, right?